Happy Monday, folks. Welcome to week 13 of our recap for college football. So, welcome to college football time with Avery Miguel. I'm Miguel Medina. This is Avery. Avery, what a huge victory by Pitt over Georgia Tech. That first half was a bloodbath, but credit to Georgia Tech, they did fall back. But Pitt, they got a huge victory. This was a massive victory for them. And that ACC is no joke. I'm liking that conference. Five teams are in the top 25. And boy, oh boy, I am looking forward to that Miami Pitt game next week.
Oh, absolutely. I think Pitt did themselves a favor by upsetting Georgia Tech. It also puts in kind of this position that they're ending their season with Georgia, and they really want to end their season on a high note because their game last season was actually top tier. But Pitt, I mean, they took control. They knew what they had to do. I think their loss with Notre Dame kind of fueled them, knowing that their last two games, Georgia Tech, and of course, well, this week with Miami would be a really, really good showing. And they did what they needed to do. And not only they upset Georgia Tech and they upset them in a decisive fashion. So definitely congratulations to Pitt because I don't think anybody kind of had that on their bingo card this week, but Pitt showed them that you should not underestimate any team and any fans, excuse me, fans of the ACC this season, you all have showed out. You all have definitely showed out. SEC, definitely. ACC, you all are taking no prisoners. Excuse me.
Miami is all right. Miami needs to focus on Pitt. They shouldn't focus on Notre Dame or any committee or anything like that. You got to handle business against Pitt. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be on the road, 12 p.m. next week, but you got to handle Pitt. So, but man, that ACC title game is looking very intriguing because if Georgia Tech would have won, they would have advanced to the title game. But Pitt said, no way, not yet. So, but this is getting very interesting, very interesting. Ohio State, Indiana, and Texas A&M, they remain in the top three. So there's that. Miami, they beat Virginia Tech 34-17.
In a
Must win
decisive
game.
fashion that they absolutely needed.
And I know it's asking a lot, but if I'm Miami, I would say I would do the same thing against Pitt. You gotta try to win decisively on that one as well. So, um, what else? What else?
SMU defeating Louisville, that actually helped Miami. SMU put a beat into Louisville.
Yes, and how about the Utah UT's great comeback by them? They avoided upset by Kansas State. The worst defensive game for them this year, but I respect the comeback. They didn't quit. They won 51-47. Um, BYU, the running game torture Cincinnati defense. They won 26-14. Let's see what else we have here. Oregon won big time against USC, 42-27. Uh,
Oklahoma just sneaked out a win against Missouri. I expected that game to be more high. It was a defense game, but Oklahoma, kind of just barely beating Missouri. I don't think them the best favors, but a win is a win, but still.
and how about Notre Dame with that massive beatdown on Syracuse, 70-7?
Ooh, that granted it was needed because like I said, when you have you at this stage, you need decisive wins. And where Notre Dame is being independent, they needed a decisive win. It's it's sad that you had to put up a basketball score to prove it, but it was needed. Needed. It makes no offense look absolutely insane, and they're in a prime position for the play.
Arizona State, they're number 25 on the AP Top 25. They beat Colorado 42 to 17. This is so strange because although it was kind of close in the first three quarters and in the fourth quarter, the Sun Devils pulled away. But the Sun Devils had five turnovers in this game. And, they were fortunate that they were going up against a very horrible defense in Colorado. So, but a win is a win. But again, Arizona State, like they've had games this year where they won sloppy.
Yes. And granted, a win is a win, but at the same time, is you want your like I've mentioned it, kind of this entire, especially, later. You want your wins to be decisive, but also want your wins to be very clean, if that makes sense. You want to, you want your back to have really good, no ways. You want your to be filthy, just force fumbles, sacks all over the place. But you know, squeaking by, still winning by, a couple of touchdowns. Sure, but at the same time, other teams are kind of you like, okay, you got that win, but it was sloppy, and other teams are going to take advantage of that, especially if they're on your schedule.
Is there any performances that stood out to you, or any teams that you were surprised by the margin of their win?
Tulane winning, their head coach is in the, the talking pool of other college jobs this week. Tulane winning, I think it does for their conference ranked well. But for your head coach being talked about, take job, other, I think I think it kind of speaks to the head coach that's staying. And I don't think Tulane's head coach is gonna go anywhere. I think he loves what he's with this team right now, and he wants to be a part of that. And I think their season strong, even though to say that his name might be in the mix, I think Tulane has done a very had a year. You- so Tulane senior year they win. I think Tulane's kind of one of those teams that we need to keep watch on, just like Vanderbilt. We need to keep an eye on Tulane.
Indeed, Tulane has been performing well, especially lately. California, they fired coach Justin Wilcox after 9 seasons. He is the sixth winningest coach in program history, and he will be owed approximately 11 million. So, were you surprised by this? After he went out, he finished his career 40 and 55, 40 and 55 in 9 seasons as the Golden Bears coach.
But he I believe he was there for 9 seasons. So his is I mean, I understand if you're there for 9 seasons, you're like just below 500, but you're there for 9 seasons and you're deciding below 500, and you rebuild that program for a good long while. I think I think California and their athletic department that even though the rebuilding process has not what I wanted it to be, they needed to make a change. And we've I think we've I don't like head coaches fired and you still have season left, so it could finish out the season, and then say, hey, we're going in a new direction. But I mean, it is what it is, but like you have athletic department, searching low for that head coach that needs to kind of bring a football program out of obscurity. You know, Cal had some really bright spots this year. So whatever vision California has, they need a head coach that, you know, go West Coast. having that national atmosphere, you might need to take the to USC and how that worked with USC because USC had a very good year this year. Granted, they still have one more game, but I want to look to the Trojans, see how that worked and see what they can do, build up that program and get the type of leadership they need in that school.
The Florida State Seminoles, they decided to bring back Coach Mike Norvell for a seventh season. That one caught me by surprise, but yeah, I'm surprised by that when they announced it yesterday that he'll be coming back. And
Loss.
yeah, over the last 2 years, Florida State has gone 7-16, 3-13 in ACC conference play. So, I mean, what are your thoughts?
I I mean,
And he's only had two
lose.
winning seasons.
Okay, you know what? It's yeah. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that they kept. But knowing how the first season went, which was terrible, his second season this year wasn't bad. They started off on a good note. They started off on a good note. And I think whatever worked or whatever is trying for Seminoles, I think he's saying we have something here and we just need a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay with him. I'm okay with him staying. I think 2 years and then saying, you know, we need to go a different direction. I'm like, don't be, you know, he deserves a shot. He deserved a shot, especially considering you start the year the way So let's look out. Let's look out Florida coach to see what he can do to kind of finish out the season, see what next year's, you know, signing class, transfer portal bring. But if you're a Seminole fan, I mean, you never give up on your team if you're Seminoles. So I think I think the Seminole like, hey, he started us off right. Let's see what we can fix and let's see what next year can bring.
I just feel like the Seminoles, they haven't been the same. I think it did something to that program that when they went 13-0 in 2023 and won the ACC title, and the committee decided to leave them out of which at the time was the four-team playoff.
Yes.
It did something to them that, yeah, it really demoralized the program. I understand the frustration that they were going through, the fans, the players, and everybody. Um, I'll say yeah. I'll say like let's see what next year brings in store for this program because yeah, what happened that season was crazy
Yeah,
for
even
them.
I was mad. And for, and for someone who just lives in the state, I'm like, how do you, I'm like, really? I'm like, like, why? It's like the Central Florida conversation, years ago as well. They were really the only undefeated team, and they're like, hey, but now we have a more expanded playoff, granted, still it's not perfect, but I'm still excited of the blood that we're seeing, especially what potentially could be, these 12 teams this year.
Well, that wraps it up for college football time with Avery Miguel. Guys, tune in for our Week 14 preview, which we have several exciting matchups, especially the classic rivalry, Ohio State Michigan. So I can't wait to talk about that one later this week. Avery, thank you for doing this with me as always. I know today is your day off, so enjoy it. As for the rest of you, I hope you guys enjoy this content. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And as always, guys, be safe and may God bless each and every one of you. Take care.
Have a wonderful week, everyone. Take care.